For some context here, before we get into it, this was submitted by or Laughenstein, as you guys know him. Laughenstein was using, let me go find it. So he was using Vicious, Savage, and Obsessed for mutations. And then we were using Screamfest, Ruthless, and Deadly Bite all at rank 3 for perks. So just so we keep that in mind going into it, there are some things that may be done differently than you would normally see me do them, just because of the fact that he may not have access to what I have access to, or may not choose to play the way that I choose to play. And then just to make sure I have the audio here. Okay. And it looks like my Chrome audio is fucked up. Hold on. Oh, we love Chrome. Is Chrome audio going to show for me? No, it's not. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Oh, I saw the issue there. That would explain a lot. Hold on. I saw the issue. That's the issue. Okay. All right. Now we're good.
All right.
Just trying to do a quick check on your guys' end. So to make sure that you guys can hear it, tell you what, we'll try this really quick and just see where it's going right here. It might be a little bit loud.
There's no way. Oh, that's
okay.
The fire weapon.
All right. And as he's going to review my wart, as soon as you want to send in a video, Reggie, I will review your wart. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, you're a troll. Dancing before you even spawn. Yeah. Okay. Waiting for the DM mod review. I'm going to be the skeleton at the bottom of the pool. We'll see about that one.
All right. Oh. There's no way. Oh, that's the fire weapon. Dodoy.
Yeah.
No, but somebody is over here.
Yeah, so immediately right off the bat, you did hear the fire weapon. Fire, holy, and shot can be a little difficult to differentiate between. There are specific maps, and it's been solved a little bit since they moved it. Like for me, hotel specifically is hard to identify where the sound is at. That having been said, because of the fact that you had an initial difficulty figuring out which one it was, it does slow you down a little bit because we're paused at 16 seconds right now. Give or take, that's like a fourth of a craft, right? So they've had a quarter of a craft done already on that fire station, depending on what it is. Which is, I mean, actually it's technically more than that. I think it's closer to like, it depends on the weapon. Like if that's a molly, that's close to like half a weapon almost.
Then we can go to fire after
but
this.
You did find somebody on shock station. Fair enough.
I knew somebody was there because of the chair being down.
And that's actually very good to pick up on.
On progress, on fire. They walked away. They didn't run away.
So that was actually something that you did that was really good, Lev. And I'm definitely going to give you credit for that. Let me see if I have... Okay, I do. So... Oh, it's going to do that to me now. Okay, so you paid attention to... Let's see here. Hold on one second. Let me try doing this really quick.
Let's just keep the pressure on.
Over here, if this will be a little bit better. The purposes of this. Yeah, okay, so... You know, you're paying attention to where you're hearing crafts and stuff, and you found this person... you know, over here, right? VOD review. How do I get this? Hi, Hex. I do VOD reviews. I take videos from people that submit videos. It doesn't have to be something while you're streaming. It can be something that you do offline. You don't have to be a streamer. This is our second one that we're doing actually right now. Laugh had come into chat asking about some specific scenarios, and I told him that I do offer VOD reviews if people want to go over them. The only thing that I don't review is Doll Master, simply because I don't do Doll Master. I'm not a very good Doll Master. If you want to learn how to lick the floor against a Doll Master, I'm great at that. VOD review this minute. That is technically a weapon. It is technically a weapon, yes. But like I said, you need to keep in mind, Laugh, that the Brett is going to have probably like what, a third to 1/2 progress right now, and he found the Gloria pretty early, so they might not have progress. You have 2 people down here though at this point that are probably going to be close to weapons. Also, if my handwriting is too bad for you guys to read, sorry, we're gonna have to deal with it. So just keep that in mind, that you've got partial craft, at least in somebody. You've got 2 people that are probably going to have craft by the time you find them at this point. And then you also have someone that you like halted initially, since they paused initially, halted initially. I can read it. It's better than mine. It's difficult with a fucking tablet, man. If you've never tried to write with a tablet, try it before you knock someone for it. It's hard. All right.
Let's just keep the pressure on.
That's a good choice to keep pressure on.
They could have a weapon. Oh, they did. Good job.
And remember what I said about our timing. So something else that you should keep in mind too while you're playing Monster. And I mean, I'm kind of cheating because I have like the little VOD timer down here, right? Or what, 52 seconds? And the average weapon is 42 seconds of craft, right? Tablet is easy peasy. Yeah, you're right on one, Jen. I want to see you right on one. So with weapons being 42 seconds on average, these 2 players were definitely going to have a weapon, right? And then let me just double check to see which one this was.
Let's just keep
I'm pretty sure it was Faith.
They could have a weapon. Oh, they did. Good job.
Yeah, okay, that was definitely Faith. So, as of right now, okay, so Faith does not have a weapon anymore, so we're just gonna put a slash over her. She's gonna have a weapon. Okay, we have 1/3 to 1/2 on the Brett. Right now, Brett's injured. Brett was running away. Brett's not at his station, so he's not gonna instantly have a weapon. And then at this point, we don't know where the Gloria is. We don't know what she's been doing. I'm just gonna put a question mark on her as I immediately draw too high up. Gloria will probably be close to 1, if not about halfway to 1 at this point. So that is something to keep in mind. As far as your timing and stuff, I personally, because I'm a weirdo, I will kind of use like my big tracking CD as I'm kind of in the way. Hold on. But I will use like my big tracking CD to kind of help myself keep track of what, like how long into the game we are. Obviously hits and stuff will alter how long. But if I'm struggling to find people, for me personally, I will go, okay, did I use this once or did I use it twice? If I used it once and it's coming up, weapons are probably going to be out. If I use it twice, there's definitely going to be weapons. Guess a weapon would be done near the 50-second 1-minute mark. Typically, yes. And I think that technically this VOD started a few seconds into the match for me, so yeah. So complete a weapon is basically achieving what all people seek, yes. 42 seconds is meeting a life. Weekend has been great. Went to a convention, hit the bar last night with a couple friends. Hell yeah.
Damn.
All right.
Oh, they must have just finished that. I should have been paid more. I should have been more mindful of the direction that they were running in. Oh, wait. That was a good ambush. I could have also not savaged that, but I could have howled beforehand. That's my fault.
Now, if you want me to, Laughenstein, I can
reckless.
tell you what you should have done there.
Oh, no.
But that's okay. No, it's okay.
Too
I do the same thing.
Reckless. I should catch up here. No problem.
Okay. Here. We'll go back just a little bit. Which, by the way, that was a very good hit. But we'll go back just a little bit really quick. And we will go pull that up. All right. So at this point, like I said, because I'm keeping track of time, And again, we've got our little cheat timer down here in the corner because it's a VOD, right? That having been said, I would never have chased down this hallway like you did. Instead, I would have gone into this room, more than likely. Especially because at this point, I'm pretty sure you heard footsteps. So, as an example, here, let's make use of another fun tool that I have. This is something that I'm still working on trying to fix, purely for the purposes of stream. It's not perfect yet. You guys will have to deal with it. It's kind of jank. Sorry, not sorry. Hi, Alex. How are you doing? So right now we have, let's see. So we have you right here in this. Actually, we'll zoom in to make this a little bit easier so we can see what's going on. So we have you right here, right? We have Brett right here. And then Faith is somewhere in this hallway. Okay. I'm not leaving. Damn, Blaze telling you to get the fuck out. I'm so lost looking at this. This is just an overview of the map, Reggie. We're doing diagrams. Hell yes. So what I would have done, Laughenstein, because you already know at this point, if he's not running into this room, he's probably going to go this way. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you just chased him up this hallway, right? He has no reason to turn back in here unless he's buying time for a craft-in warehouse, right? So that's something to think about. And if he isn't running this way, like basically if he's going to run into here, he's going to run this way. Again, to buy time for a craft-in warehouse, if he's going to be doing that. That's the way that I'm looking at it. So what I would have done in your situation, right? Let's just get rid of all these arrows talking about your movement and Brett's movement. And this is not an actual eraser. This is not a soft eraser for some reason. What I would do in this situation, right? Intentional running is a red flag picked up on too late. Yes. So what I would do in this situation, if I were you, Laugh, is I would have gone into this room because like I said, you should have heard the footsteps here because I'm pretty sure I heard them. We'll double check in just a second. And I would have gone in here and assessed the situation. And depending on how these two reacted, you would have had plenty of time, especially running Savage, to where you could have, if Faith fully pushed around this corner, you could have danced around this particular door frame, right? If she pushed this way, you still could have made use of, like, there's a wall right here, right? Worst case scenario, if she had been like, we'll say Faith is over here, and she comes over here and she has this angle on you. If you are in this doorway, you can just walk back around this doorway. She can't do anything about that, right? So that's something to keep in mind, because I know that you had asked about pathing before, like against an eyeball, for example. And like I said, because I can't see exactly where Faith is and we don't know exactly where she is because of the wall, that's something that you have to think about, is reading how the teens are pathing. Teens are going to do one of two things when they path. They're going to either run to a teammate. So we'll just put run to team, right? And if they do that, it's safe to assume that they have a weapon. Or they're going to run away from team. And again, keep in mind that ultimately they have to do one of the two. And if you're reading how they're running correctly, you're going to be able to tell which one they're doing. Now, there are times where I will fight people that I'm looking at them. I'm like, what are you doing? You absolute crazy person. Like, there's what is your pathing? Why are you doing this? And that's because they're maybe newer players or they're casuals and they're panicking and they don't know what they're doing. So they just run. But that is what I would have done in that scenario. I would have dipped into staff and I would have assessed from there. Even if you howled, you could have either downed the Brett or you could have downed the Faith, more than likely. I just run. Yes. I know you just run, Jen. It's a very comprehensive review. Thank you. I appreciate it, please. All right. Yeah, and you heard her there, definitely.
Oh, they did. Good job.
We're going to fast forward just a little bit.
That was a good ambush. I could have also not savage that, but I could have howled beforehand. That's my fault.
Like I said, you could have howled if you were over in that extra room.
Reckless.
Over in staff room.
Oh no.
That was very good on your part. So we have 3 swings.
Reckless.
And I assume that this is...
I should catch up here. No problem.
That's the Jess. You got a hit, so that's good.
3 hits in.
Might have missed the steps when I was talking. Yeah. That's totally fine. That's why I said it didn't have to be like a stream VOD. It could have just been a video that you recorded off stream because I play worse on stream.
Oh no, and
then you walk into across.
Oh, no.
Alright.
Back and...
Alright, so let's just rewatch this. So I'm gonna get rid of the wings. The 3. So she has 7 swings, right?
Let's go back and pressure electric.
Let's keep tracking this for a second.
No, let's go back and pressure fire. They healed. Oh no. Oh
no. Okay. And then... So what point did they... Okay, so you pointed out something here, right? That is a good thing to point out. It's the most entertaining thing I've watched all day. One of my favorite streamers being one of my favorite streamers. Hell yeah, thank you, Hex. So the main thing that you pointed out here, which was a good thing to point out actually, was this. You pointed out that Brett got healed, because this is roughly where he got healed at. And we'll just play for like literally 1 frame so you can see what I'm talking about. Now he's healed at this point, okay? So now Brett just got healed. So... that says one of 2 things. 1, he's on a med station. Or 2, he's at a teammate, right? As I instantly half write in cursive. Sorry. So, it says one of 2 things. Ultimately, at this point, we have... this person is down in lobby, right, with the sword. We know where they are. This person just used their weapon. So, they're probably... getting healed by this Gloria, which, as we see in a second, that was the case, or they were healing at a med station. And one of the things that you either did not think about or you failed to think about while you're pushing up into upper facility, right? And we will swap this in just a second. I want to fast forward. Okay, so here we are, right? And then we'll get rid of all of this shit really quick. Oh, my eraser's not big enough. Okay, that's kind of troll. Okay, anyways. So, going over into our map view again. So, at this point, you are... let's see, right here. Right? Hello? There we go. You're right here. Okay. Brett was at a holy station, to be frank, so he could be at either... so the thing with that, Reggie, is that we've actually seen Brett already at a fire station. Brett was the sad face on the fire station at the beginning of the game. Think about all of this, but I have a very selective memory. It's hard to keep track of, especially Call of Duty, because like I have ADHD, and it can be really hard for me to track stuff. And I know that like for me, for example, when I'm streaming, because I'm focusing on chat, controlling my model, which granted this program that I'm using right now, I don't have to control as much. Reading chat, trying to have a conversation with the chat on top of trying to like hear the game over myself talking. And I have to make sure that I am talking loud enough and clearly enough so that way you guys can understand me. It gets a little difficult. It can be really, really frustrating for me, but it usually pays off in the end, to be honest with you. Although I do tend to walk into a lot of stupid stuff. So at this point, we're going to think about this. So there's a health station down here, right? We'll just box this in. There's a health station here, right? You would hit this Jess that's covered up over here. Made that pillar a dick with balls. Good lord. There. For fuck's sake, Reggie. Take one off for Reggie. You guys are ridiculous. So the minute that you decided to path through greenhouse and you went this way, right? Knowing that the Brett had been healed. Lex. Yeah, Lex is in here. So knowing that the Brett had been healed, that means that Brett could potentially be down here, right? Pillar is generally a pretty popular spot for teen. And the reason why I say that is because if we zoom out just a little bit, all right, sorry, I know that this might be a little bit disorienting. So we have Holy Station is what right here? So this is Holy. right? Shock is somewhere over here. Cursed is somewhere over here. I haven't looked at the exact spawns this game. Go down this way. There's a fire station down here. You go down into the hallway. There's a holy station down this way. Right? Pillar in general is dangerous for monsters on this map purely because of how many stations you have nearby. Right? Because if you're looking at the 5 that I marked right here, you literally have 5 whole stations in this area. Having 5 whole stations in this area gives the teens 5 whole more chances to catch you off guard and pop you in the face. Now, like I said, it's possible that Brett was healing himself. You know, it's possible that he wasn't being healed because, again, I can't see exactly what happened on the teen side, right? But your choice to look into the room from this doorway as a wolf is almost never a good idea. If you want to look into this room, also, hi Bluegrass, how are you doing? Your choice to look into this room as a wolf is a questionable one, and the reason why is because there's not a whole lot of cover you have here. It's pretty easy for them to take advantage of this one doorway. There's not a whole lot of options with this doorway, right? Because basically, if you go into this doorway, you can have a teen come over this way, or you can have a teen come over this way, and then you're stuck in this room. You're just stuck in here with them, right? And I understand you have Hal, and it's the whole "you're stuck in here with me" theory, but realistically, in this situation, that would not have worked out for you. What I would have done instead of going into botany is I either would have, and I don't even know that I would have done this, I either would have come over for this doorway right here to peek, or alternatively, the other thing you could have done is instead of going through like that, you could have come around. You could have peeked this way, right? Because if you peek here and you see there's danger, you could still back up. You could either go back this way, you could go this way, you could go this way. If they don't have anyone on the sides over here, you could always back up and go this way. There's multiple routes for you to take if you come over to this side as a wolf. Yeah, Jen's friends with everyone. I had a friend that called me hen as a child. Oh, Lord. So that's what I would have done with that. But again, that's just me. I would not have walked into that room as a wolf unless I knew I was going to get a hit.
No. Let's go back and pressure fire.
Basically, no bueno is wolf. As most monsters, yes, it can be very dangerous. So like with Deathwire, for example, right? With Deathwire, I really don't like this door as Deathwire. If you're playing Deathwire and you're going to be like down here, right? You need to shock up the staircase like this to try to hit the top of the staircase because teens will sit here. They'll sit here. Sometimes they'll sit here, right? Teens like sitting at the top of the staircase. The other thing too to keep in mind is that like with wolf, coming up the stairs is, again, just dangerous in general. With wolf, I would either, if I was going to have to pick a side of overlook to go up, I would go up this staircase. I would not go up the staircase unless you knew for sure nobody was right here. That's just me. You need to be cautious. You need to be wary of the fact that there's, again, a table here. I'm just going to put T's here. There's a table somewhere over here. There's a table over here in this game. There's a table downstairs over here. There's one further down the hallway. There's almost always going to be a teen with a weapon in this area. The only time it's safe is if you know that there's no weapons in that area. That is the only time it's safe. And I mean, you have to know that there's no weapons there.
They healed. Oh no. Oh no.
And you had the right idea with trying to get behind cover.
Damn.
It just didn't play out in your favor that time.
Unfortunate. Maybe I should hunt more. Catch these people.
Hunt would be good too. You could definitely hunt. That's an option that you have. Look at the pin that Izzy has. Hi, Brew. Yes, I have a pin.
Not a bad follow-up.
That was a good hit.
What do we got?
Swing while taking fire doesn't work, I believe. Oh, wow. No, but he had the right idea with trying to get to cover.
I didn't even see that weapon.
All right, let's go back and watch this molly again.
All right. Not a bad follow-up. What do we got?
Okay, hold on. That molly is so good.
What do we got?
All right, this is really hard to see. Whoop. Hold on. That's a person. That's a teen. Hi, Teika. How are you doing? Didn't know JP was in the lobby, day. No, JP was not in this lobby, I don't think. This is a person down here, though. He's kind of hard to see, but he's right here. I'm 90% sure this is where you get hit.
What do we got?
Molly? Yep. That was the Brett. Remember how I said Brett was 1/3 to 1/2 on a craft? And remember how I specifically said a molly is a shorter craft? There's that molly that I was talking about. Gotta use my magnifying glass? Yeah. Something that is hard to train, and especially while streaming, is the ability to notice minor details in the environment that are off. Hi, boyfriend. I'm here to judge. Let's not judge. Noticing minor things that are off in the environment are really difficult to do. It may not have been easy if you were like trying to look for something else going on. I don't know if you're like looking at chat, if you were just distracted because you were trying to talk for stream. Yeah, and especially streaming, it's difficult to notice everything. But that having been said, you did see him. It is possible to have responded to that, but that stairs are death. Yes, overlook stairs if you aren't abusing the windows, and like I said, observing through the windows, because, like I said, hard to catch.
What do we got?
But you saw him for a second there. He was there. He was visible. He was just very hard to catch. And I've literally caught people on frame for less time.
Got.
And the other one.
Oh wow. Oh damn.
When the werewolf gets stomped on the head.
Weapon in their hand. Oh, we're getting.
Yeah. So the only thing that you could have really done here would have been. Let's see where we at. Right here. So you're chasing up here, right? So this Brett is about right here. Faith is like down here, right? And you're like up here. Even though you didn't see him, I make sure if I'm going through Overlook that I look through these windows to look down for this, to look down for this as best as I can, because these two spots are going to be very popular spots for teens to run to. If they're running to a weapon, simply because teen can stand on a corner here or like here, and then they can just peek around and they can pew 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 and they can kill you, right? That's the only reason why I say that. That's a very common spot for me to deal with monster. And another common spot, since it's over here on the map for me to deal with this monster, this specific hallway, aka the hallway of death. Very dangerous hallway. This hallway specifically, be careful with. Love it when a werewolf loses stigma to Molly. We don't love it in this case because it's Laughenstein. But as the teen, it feels good.
Getting pummeled, chat. We're getting absolutely pummeled. I didn't even see that that Molotov in their hand. Unlucky. Unlucky.
So yeah, that was a time tracking issue, not a luck issue necessarily. But like I said, that's keeping track of weapons, keeping track of your table pressure and such.
Left. All right.
I was just scared watching the
Let's go over
to
to
train VHS. You mean sacred?
Let's go this way.
Or scary? So he did see the Brit, but he didn't know that they had a Molly. We did see the Brit, yes. We didn't see enough of the Brit for the Molly to highlight, though, is the issue. Yeah.
We're just playing really bad today, honestly. But we're getting experience in Flux.
That was a good hit.
So
that was a very good hit. You denied the sword. So that's what? Minus a swing, and I think that's the Jess still, so she should have, what, 6 now?
We're allowed to have off days.
And also, yes, you're allowed to have off days. You're allowed to
corner.
have bad games. You're a human, and I don't expect perfection.
Alright.
Okay.
He's got to get more spacing mistakes like that.
So we have.
That's always what I say, though, right?
Stun here,
you always
right?
just need them to make some more mistakes spacing.
Yeah, spacing mistakes. So we have 2 stun weapons. Okay. So now we have
There's only
what?
1 kill weapon on the board.
4 on her. 4 swings on her. And then we have a stun here, and we have a stun on somebody else. I assume the Gloria?
Alright.
No, the Gloria just got the kill on you, though, right? Oh, yeah, no, it would be the stun on Gloria. Brett shouldn't have a weapon right now. So you pulled a prone, so that's good.
You're
or
getting a bit
an agony.
aggressive since they had a
Expects me to be perfect.
pretty heavy lead.
Yeah, I expect you to be perfect. You're not. You don't have an excuse. The Berserk may have been a little bit
I
overkill,
love that.
but that's okay. That's fine.
Alright, remember?
You have a hunt ability. You remembered it. Good job. And this is a very minor detail here, but I like what you just did there. And I don't think a lot of people thought about it. Fourth Myth is a mod for sword. Gives you 3 extra swings. Yes. So the thing that you just did here, I don't know if it was intentional. I don't know if you even thought about it when you did it, but it was a good thing. So Werewolf is kind of wonky for the hitbox. So with Werewolf, you have the head, right? Then you have the body. And then you have this long-ass hitbox on the tail. And so instead of sticking your head behind the wall and leaving your tail sticking out like that, you turned so that it was more like this, right? And that made it harder for you to hit. I say Berserk anytime, brother. Fair enough. But that was actually really good that you did that. And I want to go back here and count these slashes really quick, too.
Alright, remember?
So we had, what, 4 here? 3, 2, 1. Okay, so they do have Swordsmith, so they have 2 swings left. You know, the werewolf back up like a pickup truck? Yes, you have to with the werewolf because of your shape. You kind of have to a little bit with Wart, but it's not as bad as werewolf. Trying to go side on, I think, changes your hitbox. Yeah,
Alright.
it does. Werewolf is dummy thick. Werewolf also has a massive thigh gap. Alright, so we now have 2 stun weapons gone, and all we have is 2 swings, and they're gone. Okay, so now I'm going to pause this for 1 second. Did you notice that, Laugh? Did you notice what changed right here? Meanwhile, Deathwire is skinny boy. Deathwire is skinny goals, yes. If you didn't notice what happened here, it's fine. Thank you for the follow, Sapling. I appreciate it. So, for those of you who didn't notice it, Faith got picked up. So what does that tell us? That tells us that Brett is with Faith right now, right? So that tells us that these 2 are together. We know that she does not have a weapon. He probably has a weapon. He's probably lethal, right? So just keep that in mind.
Alright,
as far as the vending machine tell,
hanging out with
tells us Faith is magic.
A weapon. We got Faith up there, right? Nice.
And also a reminder, not necessarily for you, but just in general, guys, because I'm bad about it too.
That was all spacing gaming. Thank you for this. Absolutely.
Okay, so they just got Jess up.
Okay.
You guys have this magic tool that the devs gave us that you can use to help keep track of bodies and stuff. So now we have 3 people back up. You know that only one of them is armed, as I miscircled already. So he's got a weapon.
Amazing.
Okay.
Full of a lot of great people. And
yes, and especially because they updated it. Monster pings are very important.
That everybody knew, all the
Always
good
forget.
gamers I know.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay, so he has an enigma.
If we can.
And it's not charged. We'll do like that, but not charged. Okay. So we have no weapon on anyone except for him. Howling was definitely a safe play. Oh, he's too lazy to use monster pings. Oh yeah, because he had it charged, that's right. Okay. So you caught him, so that was good.
Alright.
Alright. So now we have 2 people up. So we know that the Faith and Jess are together right now. Right? And then let me... Buy script? Yes.
My pleasure. Alright.
Let's see. I'm trying to remember if Sad Face runs Vice Grip, and I don't remember. I cannot remember if they run Vice Grip or not.
Alright.
Yep. And that was something you didn't comment on, actually, so... Hold on. We'll just put Vice on there. Okay, that body is just an enigma. There are 3 people that are injured. Actually, the 2 people that are injured, one other person that's prone, none of them have a weapon. This is a case where you should be able to snowball. Also keep in mind that with Vicious, you have a continuing berserk if you down somebody, right? And that's something that happens when you make a whole lot of use out of this game. They had it today. Gotcha. So yeah, they did have a weapon. So they do still have an enigma. So we'll just put Enig up here. We'll just keep that in mind while we go through this. Howling was a good play? Yes. You can definitely do that. I don't think it was entirely necessary, but it was certainly a choice. And it wasn't like a bad choice. Okay, so we had 2 people here. Sounds like you're chasing Jess. Yeah, you're chasing Jess right now. And it also sounded like there was a Faith you were chasing. So she got down by Morgue. And I'm gonna also throw up here Overlook.
Where did they go?
Okay, so he's picked up now.
I think they're up here.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it shorter because apparently my eraser's too small in GIMP and I can't really erase what I wrote too well, so we're having to Control Z everything. It's kind of ghetto, but you know.
Smart.
And yes, they are full healing. That's very good use of your UI that you're catching track of. So I kind of feel like you're wondering a little bit right now. And I think that that's partially because you weren't really keeping track of where you had left your slugs at. Yes, wasting big time here. You gotta heal very fast. It means both of them heal him? Yes. So based on the heal time, as Lex pointed out, you have 2 teens that are healing this guy, right? So realistically, all 3 of these guys are together. Okay. You had left him in Overlook. So they're probably going to be close to Overlook if they're not in Overlook at this point. Right? More than likely. There's a chance that they like maybe reposition slightly, but they're probably going to be in Overlook or near it.
Pretty fortunate. Well, actually, they have Infernal Eye.
And like, I just want to... Alright. I want to get an exact time of when you down this person. Okay, so we are at, what, 7:17? This is for my own tracking, so we can get a time of how much time you wasted here. Alright. So you almost went back to Overlook, and that was what you should have done there, because you noticed him get picked up, right? We'll just see exactly when he gets picked up, just for sake of the VOD review. $7:25. He gets picked up at 7:25, right?
Where did they go? I think they're up here.
Actually, I don't think he had 2 teams healing him. Let's see here. So he gets healed at 7:46, right? Do you know, like, Yeah, it was just me being lost. I was gonna say, do you know why you were over in Cafe when Last Sigma was cursed? When you know where you downbred at, and he had vice grip. This is just me trying to like understand like what your thought process was. If this was just you mentally like getting lost for a minute.
You get crazy serious.
ADHD.
Same. Luckily, it's been pretty fortunate. Well, actually, they have Infernal Eye.
And actually, hold on. They just picked Jess up. Where did they pick her up at?
Same. Luckily, it's been pretty fortunate. Well, actually, they.
So about 8 minutes. They pick up Jess. All right. That's almost a whole, what, 43 seconds? Yeah, 43 seconds. She's on the ground for 43 seconds, right? That's a long time to be on the ground, dude. That is a weapon craft worth of being on the ground. Just not thinking well and thinking bad. Yeah. And like, that's fine. But I want you to see just how much time you wasted there. You wasted a whole weapon craft there. Just so that way like it puts it into perspective for you.
Now?
That's why I was saying, like, this doesn't have to be something you do while you're streaming. It can be something you do off stream, because I know I play better off stream. Okay, so you saw the Enigma. I don't know what he was doing, so that was very good. He ran into you. That was also a very good hit. I don't know what that was.
You gotta kill this guy.
And you know that there was 3 people there in that hallway, too.
Oh, no. Yep. Yep. I knew he was hiding right behind there.
You're baiting here, which is good. It's very good baiting.
If we don't get him now...
It's risky, but it's good.
There we go. No, yeah. Damn.
Okay. Would you like to know what you did wrong here? Because I can tell you exactly what you did wrong here. All right. So we're just going to use the main level of facility again. We're just going to kind of go over here. So Brett's like, you know, running his loop over here, and you're chasing him, and you guys, you know, are rotating around. So eventually he's down here and you're up here. Tried to smack a eyeball the other day like it was an RC. Oh no, Jen. The map is so cool. You should tell the Hellbent devs that, because they made some top-down maps that have been used for some other stuff. These I am just using for the purpose of the review to make it easier to explain things. Now, this eye was coming from what? Over here? What did I say earlier about weapons coming through that area?
Jeez. That's what we... There we go.
Yeah, so that eye came from there. So there's 2 things that you messed up here. All right. The first thing, you didn't hear any chanting, right? If you don't hear chanting, you're not going to stop that eye with a howl. You're not doing it. The second you heard no chanting, you should have fucking booked it. And I mean the second you heard no chanting, you should have booked it. You spent too much time committing to a chase on that loop when you knew that there was an eye in play. That was a big mistake that you made. So for the second mistake, we're going to do overcommit. Right? The third mistake was trying to howl. Which, again, kind of ties into point number 1 as I horribly draw a little arrow. If you can't hear the chanting, you're not going to interrupt it with howl. It doesn't reach. Yeah, the second you heard the music, you should have been running. That was what you did there. So, there's an arrow? Yes, there's an arrow, Reggie. I guess Reggie can't see it because Reggie's colorblind. But you know. So, here's what we're going to do. So realistically speaking, right? Fuck your red bullshit. I can just see the cursor moving around. All right, so This is the eye, right? Here's the Brett, and here's you. Now, realistically, we're going to turn on this other map over here. Okay. So eye is going to be, as I'm on the wrong layer, eye is going to be like roughly here, Brett somewhere down here, and then you're like up here. Reggie doesn't get to learn. No, Reggie doesn't get to learn. Reggie shouldn't be colorblind. I mean, what? So anyways, what we're going to do here is I would do one of two things. I would go this way. As much as I said pillar is a death trap, VOD review is based. The reason being, you've got this eye coming up this way. Could you run this way? Potentially, yes. Now, you do know that there had been 3 people in this hallway down here, right? Here, we'll flip back down here for just a second. Now, you know that there have been 3 people down at this hallway. One was the Brett, right, for sure. One was clearly the eye user, and then I don't know exactly who the third one was. Probably Jess or Faith. Reggie only sees yellow. Reggie doesn't only see yellow. Is there a chance that had you gone down this staircase that you could have found somebody to hit? There is a chance, yes. I'm not going to pretend like there's not. That having been said, running this way would have been a better call. Alternatively, I would probably anticipate a monster to run that way. It's going to be your fastest line break. But what I probably would have done after that if I were you is instead of like continuing on into pillar, I probably would have actually gone this way, gone back downstairs. And then once I'm back downstairs, you could have gone this way. Now, granted, this is kind of going to be towards danger. You'd have to be careful here. You could go back this way. And you know the other thing about going back this way is there's a curse station back here, man. There's a curse station right back here. There's a med kit right here, right? There's a lot of different options that you have back here. Going back downstairs is a good idea, yes. Because keep in mind, the more you break vision, the harder it's going to be for the eye to keep up with you. And the other thing too, and we'll show it really quick. This desk against an eye, very specifically, is a fucking death trap as I'm on the wrong layer. The reason why it's a death trap is because the eye can literally go over it. You have to run around this thing, right? So it's not a great idea for you to try to run around that. That's why I was saying I would have pathed downstairs, and I probably would have gone towards like Morgan stuff personally. Feels like we lost a cop tournament reviewing why we lost. No. That's not the intention at all. I want people to think about their pathing and stuff. And I want them to realize that when they make mistakes, whether it be overcommitting, not thinking about pathing, maybe they don't know like the spacing on how in comparison to like eyes and shock spheres and stuff. Yeah. Like the only other option that you would have had here, aside from running, if you can't run really because of where you're at, you need to look for a hit, right? And as far as we know, Brett, not an option to hit because he's running to the eye. Okay. The eye user probably not going to be an option. There's a chance that there's somebody down in morgue, but you're going to have to make it to morgue first. More than likely, you are not going to make that. I'm sure that the eye user was like in showroom or something. They might have been in staff. It's a possibility they were in staff, but ultimately, I don't think that there was a lot you could have done there outside of running. You're overcommitted to a chase, and that's all that you did there. That was wrong. I shouldn't say all that you did there. That's what led to it. The overcommitment led to you dying there. For the most part, the Molly was a pretty minor thing that you just didn't pick up on. And then, what else? Brain farting. The cross was kind of sneaky, but again, you walked into a dangerous area, and then the shock stigma at the beginning, you overcommitted to a chase there too, and you weren't tracking time. I love this. I learned a bunch already. Well, I'm glad that you learned a bunch. Again, this is something that I do offer to do. This is only the second time that we've done this, and I wanted to have like a map overlay to draw on, but unfortunately that just wasn't panning out. It was a lot of overcommitment. And that's why I tell people when I stream, I play worse than I do on stream than I would off stream, because I overcommit like a motherfucker and I jump into stupid shit all the time. I like to jump into stupid stuff while I'm streaming. I think it's more entertaining that way. I also have another ad rolling, so you guys might be getting ad blocked right now. So the main things, if I was to give you homework, the main things that I would tell you to work on, we're going to go to darker screens. That way maybe it's a little bit easier to read. Hold on. So the main things I'm going to give you is homework to work on if you want to improve your monster play. The first thing is time tracking. All right. Make sure you track your time. The second thing, because you didn't use it a whole lot, tracking CD. Using it anyways, I should say. I don't like homework. Same Astra. Make sure that you're using your tracking CD because you didn't use it a whole lot. Your third thing is, and this is something that just comes with more playtime, spacing. You definitely need to learn your spacing. Because there's a couple times where you could have gotten hits where you didn't need Berserk, or a couple times where you misjudged spacing and you got punished for it. And then the fourth thing is going to be, as a brain fart again, keep better track of your slugs. Be a little bit more mindful of the UI. So we'll just, we'll say like monster ping /UI. Those would be like really good starting points for you to start with for improving. I'll just take the F over homework. Yeah, I know. So, do you have any other questions left about the game or about anything that maybe I didn't touch up on that you did in the game? Because like you did some stuff that was really good. You definitely caught the teens a few times when they misspaced themselves or when they got greedy or overstepped or were in bad positions, which is important. And it's good that you recognize that when they're doing that. But I mostly want to make sure that there's nothing else that you have questions about in this game specifically. Send you a 3-hour game of just memes and see what you think. I mean, go for it, Reggie. Alrighty.